Hello everybody, welcome to another tutorial over here on YouTube. Today we're going to take a look at this reverb. This is one of those reverbs that is highly used by many producers, and it's like almost every single producer is using this one. I'm taking classes from these different professors like Charlie Puth, Ryan Tedder, Louis Bell, Tiny, and they use it quite a lot. So I'm going to show you 5 of these Bottons that they quite use all the time. Okay, so first one, the first 2 are this one, and we can kind of pretty much say it's one. It's basically your regular EQ. So when you open here, most of the time you see this on 8,000, and usually we just leave it over there. And 8,000 means like you move this all the way here, like 8,000. You can see the number right here. This is kind of what it's doing, this EQ. When we say high cut, that means on the high end we cut it. And low cut is the contrary. Low is this part over here. So let's say we have 590, 590, 590, something like here, as you can see. So that's the settings we have over here on the low cut. That means we cut the lows. And if you see this in red, that means that's all the cut we did. Okay? So that's basically what an EQ means in this part. So we move these two. Most of the time, the one that we use to move the most, is the low cut. The high cut, usually we leave it on 8,000. Okay? Okay, the third bottom is this one, the size. Okay, this one. And it will depend on what you're working on. The fourth is decay. We move this one. And the fifth one is the mix. So those are pretty much everything we move all the time: mix, decay, shape, and the EQ. Okay, the other ones I never use them, and I don't see other producer using it either. I believe they might be very helpful as well, but until I, play around those, I may end up knowing what they mean. But at this point, those are the ones I use. And over here you have the following. Okay, so you can use either one of those. And you have your presets over here. For instance, I know that Charlie Puth likes to use this one, which is non-lean. And so let's take a look at the presets that I have from some of these producers. For instance, for backing vocals, like the background vocals, Charlie Puth uses the following. That doesn't mean that you have to use this one all the time, but this is a good starting point so that you kind of move around. Like, he didn't move anything over here. He just, instead of having 100%, he just had something like here. And the decay changes a little bit, and this one. And the pre-delay, he doesn't move it that much. Some producers do move this one, but not quite often. And then we have Tiny, for instance, on a bass, which we usually don't put a reverb, which we can. So to make it sound better, the only thing that he moved is these 3. And if you notice, he actually put it very small numbers, like in the mix, instead of being like huge mix, like huge reverb, it's only like 3%. And that's because the bass usually doesn't have a reverb, but you can add a little bit so it can give some body to the bass. Now, on this one, Charlie Puth added this preset for a snare to make it more wet, more noisy. And once again, just did a little low cut. The shape, just instead of being 100, just move it a little bit down. And pretty much he didn't move this one. Decay, leave it like that. So you don't have to move all the buttons all the time. It just depends on what you're looking for. And once again, always look at these 5 buttons to move pretty much. And this is for vocals. For instance, Louis Bell on a synth. He put a lot of quiet delay on it. And pretty much took a little bit of the lows, cutting the lows and the shape, give it a little bit on here. And then Ryan Tedder, for instance, for guitars, he only moved a little bit these two, and the rest leave it as it is, except for the guitar who just take a little bit of the lows. So vocals, you can see pretty much we just only moving these two, and maybe a little bit of on this one, which is almost never used to be moved, but you can once in a while play around with it if you want to have something before the reverb. That's what the pre-delay, that's why we might use it if you want it. Okay, so you can take a look at these presets, use it yourself, and just as a guidance. And I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.